Hello and welcome. This is Darius Barazandeh, host of the U.S. Revolution. And if you're about to watch this amazing session that we did, then you're part of a group of humans on this planet who are ascending and moving into a higher frequency. You're not here by accident, and I'd like to offer you a special gift that will help you to adjust to some of these frequencies, plug in even deeper, and it's an energy activation MP3 that will double the power of your energy field in less than 57 seconds. It's absolutely free, and it's the first link in the description down below, but it's also going to let you get to hear calls like this one live and get daily help from healers, teachers, and masters all over the world. It's absolutely free, and it's part of what we're doing every day at U-Wealth Revolution. So if you feel called in your heart, you can click the link down below, and the special session that you wanted to watch and experience will start right now.
I'm going to read a little bit about Dr. Susan. She's amazing, and she's really one of the pioneers in transformation. I think she's been doing this longer than anyone here, and she's the person I really trust to give us the whole scoop on Ascension and how we can make it happen. She's a best-selling author. She's a spiritual expert, advisor, and a pioneer in the self-development field. She's been highly acclaimed and greatly respected as a New Thought minister and a doctor of divinity. She authored the book Divine Revelation, which has been in continuous print from Simon Schuster for 15 years, as well as the award-winning Miracle Prayer. Many of you have experienced a lot of these transformational technologies, have written back with amazing results. She also has many other books. Her latest book is Ascension and is a #1 Amazon.com bestseller. Her books are published in several languages worldwide. Now, she also has been someone who has mastered and practiced personal development disciplines for over 40 years. Okay, for 22 years, she lived in the Himalayas, the Swiss Alps, and other secluded areas, studying personally with enlightened masters from India, including Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, the founder of Transcendental Meditation and the guru to the Beatles and even Deepak Chopra. She was on Maharishi's personal staff for literally 7 years. She then studied New Thought and metaphysics for another 24 years and lived it, and then became a doctor of divinity. Since 1970, she's been a New Thought pioneer. She's been also on mainstream publications, bringing out the truth of our existence to people all over the planet through publications and media outlets like Women's World, GQ, Cosmopolitan, nationally syndicated radio, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox News, Coast to Coast. She's the founder of Divine Revelation, a technology for contacting your divine presence and listening to your inner voice. She travels extensively, and she facilitates workshops, spiritual retreats, spiritual excursions, tours to India, Peru, Bali, and other sacred destinations. And I want to just read what a lot of people have been saying about Susan really quick. I know we've gone long, but this is really key. One person said, for the first time in 15 years of reading all sorts of metaphysical books, one has come along and describes the dangers of getting involved with expanding and opening your mind if you don't know what you're doing, and shows you how to deal with, protect, and properly receive higher spiritual guidance. This was from P.G. West. Another person said, I've been practicing meditation for 20 years. I've been teaching seminars as well. And this book, Divine Revelation, was a great relief that God was finally inside of me and not just outside. Another person, NM from Iowa, said Divine Revelation has been one of the most helpful books I've ever used on a spiritual path. It has dramatically changed my life. It's brought me closer to God and myself. The meditation is uplifting, inspiring, and fun. Another person said this has untangled the confusion between spirit and communication. Another person said, I felt touched by God. That happens all the time when Susan comes on, so get ready. We have incredible stories from the last time Susan was on, and I can tell you this is going to be another one of those record breakers. So let's just send a huge U-Wealth Revolution, just outpouring of love to Dr. Susan Shumsky on the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3. Dr. Susan, welcome back to the U-Wealth Revolution. Here we are, Ascension 2012.
Well, I'm so happy to be here, and I'm so thrilled that you are doing a teleseminar series with the topic Ascension. That is so awesome because of the fact that I wrote a book called Ascension, and, of course, the audio book is going to be available for everyone. So I am just so thrilled about this.
Wow. I want to start from almost just the hardest hitting, most cutting edge, right to where people are. There are people right now in pain. They're frustrated. They're having challenges. they're having relational issues, health issues. How in the world can Ascension help them? How can that help them to be propelled into the life that they've always dreamed of? Or can it not help them? What is your take?
The thing is that problems, difficulties in life arise because of a misperception of who we truly are. And this misperception of our identity is the reason for all this suffering and all this pain. I realize that most of us want to blame situations and circumstances externally. We want to blame the government. We want to blame the society, the corporations. We want to blame other people in our life. But the truth is that the reason for this kind of suffering, the reason that we are in pain, is due to our own misbelief about who we really are. If we could possibly learn how to experience who we truly are, then we would not have this misperception and we would not be suffering. It is possible for every individual to live a life of great joy, daily joy, even in the midst of problems and challenges, that we can joyfully move through life. And that's what I try to help people to do, is to recognize who we truly are, to realize the true self, and by doing that, we not only bless ourselves, we bless everyone around us. Indeed, we bless the whole world.
And, you know, when they're in that vibration, if we call it the vibration of ascension or the frequency level of someone who is ascended, what happens to those problems? I mean, do they go away? Do we find new intuition guidance from the masters that help us to ascend beyond the problems? It's almost as if I remember the quote that the energy that created the problem will never solve the problem, but a higher energy that's outside of the context of that problem will move you bigger to where the problem is just sort of like it's just a non-effectual thing. It's just dissolved.
Darius, that's very true. The fact is that if we can experience a higher vibration or a high level of consciousness, then we are beyond problems. Even though the problems still exist, we're not affected adversely by those difficulties and problems. They are simply challenges that we're dealing with on a daily basis, which, you know, every human being has challenges. Every human being has things that happen in their life that they have to deal with, and that's the way life is. So we deal with these daily experiences, you might call them. I wouldn't really call them suffering or anything like that. I would just call them challenges or maybe problems that we're dealing with. But when we come from a state of inner stability, of inner divine light, of inner knowingness, of inner wisdom, and by the way, you mentioned ascended masters, when we get guided by spirit, when we get guided by ascended beings of light, and when we are following that divine guidance, then life becomes miraculous, in fact, and we end up in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing, the right people show up. Serendipitous events, synchronicities are happening all the time in our life. That's because we are being led or guided by spirit with a capital S. And so we have less problems. Intrinsically, we have less problems, and also we have greater inner stability to deal with whatever challenges we're dealing with. It's a way for us to have more self-authority, more self-confidence, more self-empowerment, so that we can deal with everything in our life with grace and with beauty and with strength.
I've kind of asked this question. I mean, it sounds as if, and I know in my own life, the higher vibration that I've connected to, it's amazing how things just dissolve that were once these insurmountable obstacles. It's astounding. And you talk about, instead of, you know, a lot of people teach, well, let's go in and clear this energy or do this work or do all these sorts of processes on the lower level. And one of the things with this ascension work that you're doing is literally plugging people into the higher energy source that almost is going to, just override or just dissolve everything that's been holding them back. And these ascended masters, I want to talk about who they are, what they are. Do they really exist? Do ascended masters really exist, Susan? And how easy is it for us to actually connect to them? And what are they? It's a lot of questions there. I apologize. It's pretty exciting.
Oh, it's great. I mean, the thing is that you're doing an Ascension teleseminar series.
Mm-hmm.
And what is Ascension? I mean, I know this series has been going on for many, many weeks. I wonder whether Ascension has really been defined yet. Ascension is the ability to transform the physical body into a light body and to achieve physical immortality. Now, all of us are already immortal. That's a fact, because death doesn't really exist. We exist beyond death. The soul exists beyond death. So we're immortal already. But what an ascended master is a person who has transformed their physical body into a light body, and then once they have ascended, they can appear to anyone at any time in any form. They can take any form they want. They have full mastery over the laws of nature. They have full mastery over all the laws in the universe. And it's quite an achievement to attain ascension. There's very few people who have actually attained it on this planet, but some people have. Some people have become ascended masters. And these divine masters, these beings of light, we can communicate with them. They can help us on our pathway. They can guide us. And when they do, our life becomes quite miraculous.
And, who are these ascended masters? And I guess the next question is, are they wanting to connect with us? Or, is there some reason they're trying to reach us?
Right. So who the ascended masters are, for example, Jesus is an ascended master. Saint Germain is an ascended master. Mother Mary is an ascended master. Buddha, Lao Tzu, Kuan Yin, Babaji. There are many, many ascended masters from various cultures and traditions from all over the world. And it is possible for us to connect with and communicate with these beings of light and to receive divine wisdom, divine healing, divine inspiration to transform our lives. Now, do they want to connect with us? Absolutely. But they're not going to push themselves forward. They will only come when bidden, unless there's an emergency. If, for example, if you are in a very dangerous situation, they may come and prevent that situation from happening, or they may whisper into your mind, step back or stop or something like that, so that you will save yourself from danger. Also, they can appear to you in physical form. Many of your listeners, I would say probably the majority of your listeners, in some time in their life have had an ascended master visitation, which I'll explain that in a minute. But the thing is that ascended masters do want to communicate with us. They do want to help us, but we must ask. The point is that we must ask. We must ask for the healing, for the wisdom, we must ask to be led. We must ask a question and receive an answer, and then they will come to help us.
And what is an avatar? Is that the same as an ascended master, or is that a different being?
Okay, so the thing is that an ascended master is a human being who has transformed their physical body into a light body and has disappeared, usually in a flash of light, as we see in the case, for example, of Jesus, of Kabir, of Ramalinga Swami, of Annalise Guerin. There's various ascended masters who disappeared in a flash of light, and the Buddhists, Tibetan Buddhists, who disappeared in a flash of light and attained what's called the rainbow body. But an avatar is something different. And there's a reason why James Cameron actually used that word avatar for his movie,
right.
because he knew about avatars. He knew about the Indian culture, the culture from India, and he knew that in that culture there was these things called avatars, which are not ascended masters. An ascended master is an ascension. An avatar is a descension. So that means that the avatar is God incarnating human form and human flesh. So in various traditions, especially in India, they believe that God can step down its vibration and appear in human form. And in India, for example, some of the avatars are Lord Krishna, Lord Rama. In fact, Lord Buddha is said to be an avatar. I mentioned him as an ascended master, but he is in fact an avatar. And various others, a long, long list of avatars. Since your listeners probably haven't heard of them, I won't mention their names, but there are many avatars that have appeared, that have stepped down into human form, and they usually come at a time when the world is going through a big transition, and therefore they need to appear at that time. Lord Krishna, for example, arrived at the beginning of a very important age in the Hindu tradition, which is called the Kali Yuga or Kali Age. And coincidentally, or it's really no coincidence, it's also the exact date of the start of the long count Mayan calendar. Krishna appeared at that exact time. The start of the Kali Yuga in the Hindu tradition or Indian tradition, and the start of the Mayan calendar, the same exact time. So they appear to change the world, basically. They appear to usher in a new age, or to do some really important worldwide work.
As we are now, kind of right now on the cusp of the end of 2012 into 2013, is there anything coming in from these ascended masters or avatars that you've picked up on in terms of where we're moving towards, what we should be doing, how we should be proceeding? Have you gotten any information from them on that?
Absolutely. On December 18th to the 21st, there is a huge cosmic event that's taking place. On December 18th, the sun is aligning with the galactic center, with the rift of the they call it the dark rift, the center of the galaxy. And this is actually a 72-year event because it takes that long for the sun to pass through this rift. But it is happening this December 2012, it's happening, and that is coinciding with the solstice, actually. It's coinciding with the winter solstice, which is coinciding with the end of the Mayan calendar, the end of the Baktuns, the 13th Baktun of this era. And so everything is culminating at the same time. And I believe that's what's going to happen. The divine beings have told me that this is really a huge transformational event, and that during this period of time, December 18th to the 21st, there's going to be a wave of divine energy coming from the center of the galaxy. In the Maya tradition, they call it Hunab Ku, which is the being of light that is in the center of the galaxy, of the Milky Way. And this wave of divine energy is a transformative wave of energy. And if we are awake and aware, we can take best advantage of this wave of energy. So I would recommend that, for example, on sunrise, the solstice moment, by the way, which is 11:11 Greenwich Mean Time on December 21st, I would recommend that people wake up or get up and that they stand in front of the sun at sunrise and allow that wave of divine energy and that sun to hit their forehead and activate their pineal gland and activate the third eye. So that is what I'm going to be doing on December 21st, 2012. I'll be on a cruise ship doing it with a group of people, but I would recommend that other people, just wherever you are, get up on December 21st, 2012 on the solstice and wait for the sun to come up and allow that wave of divine energy that's coming from the sun and also from the central sun, because the sun is aligned with central sun during that time. That's the time to take advantage of this spiritual energy that's going to be coming from the center of the galaxy. And then I would say that after that happens, that you go into a meditation and just imagine that you are entering the center of the galaxy and merging with that central sun. That's what I'll be doing on December 21st, 2012, and I think other people should. Now, that's December 21st, 2012, but you're asking more. You're asking what can we do now as we move into this new era. So it is my firm belief that as we enter the new era, that there aren't any signposts or roadmaps anymore, that we're going to have to rely upon the inner signposts or inner road, inner pathway. So at this time, it's crucial for everyone to learn one basic skill, and that is to learn how to connect with their own inner divinity and with the ascended beings of light, so that they will have inner guides and spiritual guides to guide them through this new era. We cannot rely upon the institutions anymore. We cannot rely upon the government, upon the corporations, upon our employer. We cannot rely upon our religious institutions. We have to now rely upon the still small voice of God within. We have to rely upon our own inner wisdom, and we have helpers. The cool thing is we have helpers. We have these ascended masters and beings of light who can help us on our pathway, who can guide us, who can show us the way, who can show us the signposts. So by connecting with our higher self within, with divinity within, and with the divine beings of light, we are assured that we're walking the right path in this time of uncertainty, where, our bank accounts are disappearing, our pensions no longer exist, our savings, and the stock market. We can't rely on any of that. Now we have to rely on the self, the higher self, the self with a capital S.
Okay, this is exciting because, for at the same point where it feels like, okay, a lot of these old structures and things are disappearing, there's something more powerful and more wholesome coming forward. I want to take a question, and I'd like to kind of get some suggestions on how we can connect to this. And I know we're going to be doing the meditation, but I want to find a question. So, one person that has written in was Sabrina from Denmark, and she says, "Dear Susan, thank you so much for this time. My question is, how do I let go of the victimhood, people that accuse me and have really kept me from who I am?" And she's dealing with a lot of sort of things coming at her. And this seems to be a really powerful theme for a lot of people. It's like there's just certain energies that they're connecting with and others that they're not connecting with, that they want to connect with, that are higher. What can she do?
Okay, so the thing is, the reason why a person feels that they are being victimized is because energetically they're victimizing themselves.
Okay.
Now, Lord Buddha told us something very, very important. Lord Buddha said in the very first verse of the very first chapter of the Dhammapada, which is the most important scripture of Buddhism, he said, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. If a person speaks or acts with a pure thought, then happiness follows him or her. If a person speaks or acts with an impure thought, then unhappiness follows him or her. So Lord Buddha tells us that all that we are is the result of what we have thought. What that means is that we draw into our lives experiences that we projected into the universe. So unfortunately, if we believe that we need to punish ourselves, if we believe that we need to be victimized, then we will draw people and experiences into our lives that cause us to feel victimized. So the important thing for everyone who is in challenging situations, for everyone who feels that they're being oppressed by situations, circumstances, or people in their lives, it's very important for them to learn how to develop greater self-authority, self-confidence, self-worth, and self-love. The key is self-love, because if we love ourselves, and forgiveness, by the way, is also another key. If we love and forgive ourselves completely, then we will no longer draw experiences into our lives that cause us to be punished. We will no longer feel the need to be punished. So it's important that we work with forgiveness, such as an affirmation, I now forgive myself, knowing that I have done the very best that I could do in every situation. And I would recommend that affirmation for this individual. And I'll say that again. I hope I remember it. I remember what I just said. I believe I said, I now forgive myself completely because I did the very best that I could do in every situation.
Wow. Wow.
And I love myself completely also. You know, it's another thing you can add to that affirmation. I love myself completely.
Well, you know, we talked about this unforgiveness part and actually putting us sort of in a, I almost want to say like connecting to or putting out a vibration that really isn't us. And when we talk about intuition and we talk about these avatars, we talk about these ascended masters and getting that guidance that's going to be bigger than our bank accounts, bigger than our societal structures, bigger than our government, what it's doing and what it's not doing. Does certain blockages of energy prevent people from getting clearer energy? And I'll say that grammatically, does a blockage of energy prevent someone from getting this clear intention and ascension energy from the masters and guides?
Right. There's a lot of people that complain and they say, oh, I can't connect with my spiritual guidance. I can't connect with these divine beings. I can't connect with the ascended masters. How can I break through this barrier? How can I break through this boundary? Well, it just so happens that's what I specialize in, is helping people to break through the barriers and boundaries that have prevented them from experiencing who they truly are, from experiencing their divine beings of light. And in fact, one of the things that we're going to be offering at the end of this call is a meditation for that very purpose. It's called the Divine Revelation Breakthrough Meditation, and it is part of this offer that we're having today. And so it is possible, and really it doesn't take rocket science. All you have to do is listen to the guided meditation, and it will guide you through the breakthrough experience where you can open to the divine beings of light and to your higher self, to your inner guidance, to God within you, whatever you want to call it. You can open to that and bypass these blockages, or break through, more precisely, break through the seeming blockages. The blockage, really, there's only one blockage. And that blockage, Darius, it boils down to one thing. The blockage is the belief that you are separate from God, the belief that you are separate from your true nature. That is the only blockage there is. So when we break through that veil of unbelief, then we experience who we truly are. And it's a matter of going into a deep enough meditation, taking deep enough breaths, and releasing anything that is in the way, saying a few healing prayers to release what's in the way. And it is possible for everyone to have this breakthrough. Anyone who has a sincere desire can have this breakthrough. And I help people to do that. And in fact, what we're offering today can help everyone to do that, because I have an entire course that's being offered, plus guided meditations, 2 different guided meditations to help you with that process. And several other guided meditations for Ascension, by the way. There's many, many guided meditations in this package.
Well, what I'm really excited about is the fact that, people don't need to live blocked from that intention and that higher energy. And when I see people write in with financial challenges, life challenges, passion challenges, I've been there. Every Sunday, Susan, I share the stories of things in my life where I was blocked by lower energy. And it's amazing, as I was going through all of the adversities and struggles from cancer at 21 to, near bankruptcy, losing my business, marriages ended, and challenges, depression, all sorts of things. The second that higher energy was brought into my life, it was like a whole other world of possibilities opened up. And I say this from truth that we have this ability, this inner genius that we can connect to. How can people connect to that inner genius, and what is it exactly?
Well, the inner genius is simply our own higher self or God within us. It's really that simple. And it is entirely possible for us to develop the ability to tap into that, to tap into our divine creative intelligence or creativity, and to use that in our everyday life in a very practical way. I know that we've been talking about, wild and crazy things like ascension and transforming your body into light, but the fact is that every one of us can tap into our divine creative intelligence and use that on a very, very practical level to answer practical daily questions and problems and difficulties that we're going through. And these divine beings, ascended masters, aspects of our higher self, God within us, you call it, you name it whatever you want. It is the still small voice within. That's what it boils down to. And when we connect with that and get our questions answered in a very practical way, our guidance will show us the way to walk. We will no longer be confused about the pathway. We'll no longer stumble and fall into pitfalls. We will be on the royal road, walking the true path, experiencing our true divine purpose, being led by Spirit on our true pathway, just like a lighthouse showing the way. Very simple. All the signposts will be there. We'll walk on the straight path very, very easily and effortlessly. And it's a matter of developing the skill to open to that experience and developing the ability to connect with these higher energies, whatever you want to call it, these higher beings, this higher aspect of ourself.
This really is incredible. I want to hear what people have in terms of questions, where you're at, what is your biggest need, what is your biggest challenge. Here's a great question, everyone. What keeps you up at night? What keeps you from the peace in your heart that you absolutely deserve? And Susan, real quick question for you on intuition. How do we know and tell whether our intuition is real, whether we're really feeling the real intuition that's the highest vibration for us, or are we not, or are we plugging into something else?
That's a really great and wonderful question, Darius, because of the fact that there are 4 places that these messages, quote unquote messages, might be coming from. The spiritual world, the mental world, the astral world, or the environment. There's 4 places.
Oh my gosh.
So I recommend that we get our messages only from the spiritual world. And the spiritual world would be getting messages from our higher self, divine beings, angels, archangels, beings of light, ascended masters, deities, avatars, all these divine beings that we can contact and communicate with, God within us, which is basically our own inner divinity. So that's the place that we want to get our messages from. We do not want to get our messages from other places. And so I have a 10-test system. That 10-test system is taught in the offer that we're having at the end of this call. And that 10-test system will be in the 3-day workshop that is being offered. So we can learn this 10-test system. It's not something I can teach in 5 minutes on a phone call, unfortunately. It's a big thing to learn. this whole 10-test system for distinguishing and discerning between the true voice of spirit and other voices in your mind, how to tell and test whether the message is the real thing. Because if we're going to be communicating with divine beings, with supposed divine beings and supposed ascended masters and supposed aspects of our higher self and supposed God, then it's a good idea that we know that it really is that and not some other voice that is faking us out, that's trying to pretend to be something that they're not, that's giving us a fake name, that's giving us a fake experience, a fake message. So there are, like I said, we need to walk the straight path without the pitfalls. So when we are in true communication with the divine presence and with divine beings, we can walk the pathway straight and clear without these detours and without these pitfalls. That's what we need to learn how to do. It's not something that you can learn in 5 seconds. That's why it's important to have training and to know what you're doing. And so I offer that, and that's part of what we're doing today.
And the beauty is you take us through some of that as well today, which we're going to be experiencing, which I love. We're going to enter our light body. And I think the real big thing today is just for us to realize that we can and that we will ascend. It is possible for us. And for people like Kate, who's dealing with a lack of money, or Michelle, who's been dealing with a financial hole that she's in, Susan, who wrote in and said she's having a lot of challenges, just feeling personally stuck. Teresa wrote in for that question. She says she receives messages and she's tried warning people, but they don't listen. So many people are having challenges. I want to kind of deal with the first one maybe that seems to be very prevalent, money challenges. How can really connecting to our masters, our guides, help us in overcoming money challenges? And maybe if you have any personal stories or people that you know that have done this and seen big shifts in their money, that would be amazing to hear as well.
Mm-hmm. So the thing is that money challenges, okay, I personally have gone through every type of money situation in my life, from being totally broke to having tons of money. It's been, both things. So what I found is that by staying focused on our purpose, we will miraculously have money. This is what I've learned. I have learned that every one of us has a mission, has a purpose. We are here for a reason. Okay, there's a reason that each one of us incarnated onto this planet. And everyone has like a job to do. In India, they call it your dharma, which is your true path, your true purpose, your true plan, the divine plan and purpose for your life. And everyone has one of these plans. And when we are in touch with and in tune with that divine plan and purpose, when we are walking in that divine purpose that we came on earth to do, then we will be supported by Almighty God, by Almighty Nature. We will be supported. We will, if we just take even baby steps in the direction of fulfilling our divine purpose, we will begin to fulfill it. And we will receive the financial support to be able to continue to fulfill it. So, as I said earlier, I was talking about how Buddha said that all that we are is a result of what we have thought. That means that whatever we place our attention upon grows stronger in our life, and whatever we focus on, we do achieve and fulfill. It's really that simple. So it's important for us to step back rather than thinking, oh, I need money, I need money, I need money. By the way, by saying I need money, I need money, I need money all the time, you're going to continue to have the need of money, because that's what you're manifesting. Because, as I said, all that we are is a result of what we think, say and do. That's what Lord Buddha said in that verse. So if you're saying, I need this, or I don't have this, or I lack this, if you're continually thinking, saying these things, then you will continue to perpetuate that downward spiral, that situation. So first of all, stop saying that, stop thinking that, and start fulfilling your destiny. So your destiny is something that you desire in your deepest heart to do in your life. You know what that is. You knew it as a child. You had a dream. You had something in your mind that was your heart. It was your love. It was your dream. And yet you gave up on your dream. You gave up because you thought it's not possible. People told you it wasn't possible. People told you it was bogus, or what right do you have? Who do you think you are? And those kinds of messages that are coming from your family, from your peers, from society, and so on and so on. Okay, stop listening to those voices. Start listening to your heart. You know what that dream is. You know what you want to do. Step out. Just take that first baby step in the direction of starting to fulfill that dream, that desire, and you will find that you will be financially supported in that if you start taking steps, if you start taking action in that direction. So find out what that is. If you're confused about what that is, the still small voice of God within you will tell you what your true purpose is. They may not tell you everything or give you the whole perspective in one shot, but they will start guiding you in that direction. And anyway, you know what it is in your heart, so just start walking in that direction. And you'll be supported. You'll be financially supported. I have found that in my life. I mean, I could tell you some miraculous stories. I don't think we have time for it, but, you know, it's pretty cool when you start walking your true path.
You know, this ties in very...
Money just flies out from the sky. It just drops into your lap when you follow your true purpose.
And, you know, I think there's a couple of points I want to make on this, and I want to do the meditation. And one of the things that the whole Ascension work that you've been doing with the new book and the things that you're teaching is that there is a part of us that we can actually recover our higher self and our guardian angels, our inner guru, our spiritual guides, our master teacher, our God within, that, ladies and gentlemen, knows what we're here to do, knows what that path is that Susan's talking about, that path where, yeah, money does fall from the sky when you're doing that dharma, that thing that you are meant to do. And so many of you that write in, when I hear about the money challenge, is because you're not on track. You're like a train off a track that's trying to go on gravel, and the train just can't go on gravel. The train needs to be on its track, its special track, and that's what we're here to really move you towards. That's one of my biggest underlying messages, that you're a gift, you're special, you have a reason you're here, and we want you to find it, because when you do, you'll make someone's life better. And Susan, really quick, I mean, I'm looking at kind of your new work on Ascension. Am I coming sort of in the right direction from that, or did I overstep a bounds there?
You're totally in the right direction, of course, of course. Absolutely, you're always in the right direction, Darius.
Yeah, because I really feel like what people are here to do, it's like our masters are here to guide us, and it's like if we can get their wisdom, they see sometimes the bigger map of what our real purpose is. I sent an email this last Sunday, so apropos, that, you know, when I told my boss 10 years ago that I wanted to go and help people and teach people, it's like he laughed and spent, you know, almost 40 minutes telling me why I would fail, why it wasn't possible. This was right after 9/11, and it was, if I had tapped into his energy, I wouldn't be here today, but I tapped into something bigger. And I actually told the story of leaving my body and seeing both of us sitting down at that table from above, and going, oh my gosh, this isn't the energy, and immediately it shifted, and I felt sorry and sent him love, and I continued on the path. And this is what we're talking about in the midst of all the other issues, is that there's something there for everyone.
Exactly. For example, when I wrote my first book, you know, Spirit, got the divine beings, the beings of light, who have this higher perspective, they said to me, okay, get in your van and start going to all these expos, and get booths at all the expos, which cost, by the way, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and just go ahead and do that. I was totally broke, and I did that. And I followed the guidance with full faith, having no idea how I was going to pay for all this. And guess what? The money came, everything was paid for. Years later, continued to travel and do the same kinds of things and more. And as I continued and just followed the guidance and trusted, even though I didn't think I could possibly pay for all of it, any of this stuff, it all worked out and financially has been extremely prosperous. And it's just a matter of following the guidance. It doesn't take rocket science. It's a matter of, you're right, Darius, they have a higher perspective. They see the whole picture. We don't. So we must be subjective to spirit. If we're subjective to spirit, then we will find that our life will take on a whole different, glorious, miraculous path, and we will be in a much better place than we were before. We'll be happy. You know, we may or may not have money, a lot of money, but we'll be happy.
Well, Susan, I'm getting excited. I feel energy coming in because this is what my passion is about, is that higher purpose and that all-knowingness. And we have Elisa who wrote in, what if I have no idea what my divine purpose is? We have Michelle who wrote in, Darius, how do I lift into this moment of knowing? And so many people are saying, well, I have no idea. What do I do? And one of the things we're going to do, Susan, I know you were adamant about, is opening, connecting, turning on our light body and getting us into that higher vibration where maybe people can start to piece the puzzle of that together right now and ascend out of this world for a moment and really get the bigger picture of what they are and what they're here to do.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely,
It's going to be fun. Woo! Oh, I can't wait. Well, should we start?
Absolutely. Put on your rocket suit right now. So we're gonna go into inner space. So let's helmet up right now. Okay. So all right. We're just going to do a little process of experiencing the light body, experiencing ascension, and I have no idea what's going to happen. I am being led by spirit. And as soon as Darius said he felt that wave of energy, I just went into a whole other vibration. This incredible light vibration just came right in. It's so powerful just when you said that. And I just feel that we are all being lifted right now into the divine light. So let's all take a big deep breath together. Breathe in. And let it go. Let's take a big deep breath of divine love. Breathe in. And release. Let's take a big deep breath of relaxation. Breathe in. And let it go. We now know and recognize that there is one power and one presence at work in the universe and in our lives. God the good, omnipotent. God is the ascension. God is the light of life. God is pure light, pure energy, pure power, pure strength. And we are now merged with that divine light. We are one with the light of God. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. So we now merge with, become one with, and unite with God in a perfect, seamless wholeness. There is no separation between ourselves and God, for in God we live, breathe, move, and have our being. So we now merge with this divine light and with the divine beings of light who are right here, right now, within us and all around us. We call forth all of these divine ascended beings of light who come in the name of God, and we ask them to come forth now to bring forth their amazing, beauteous, energetic, vibrant light, which is the light of life. We ask these beautiful divine beings to come forth and to lift us to a higher octave of vibration, to the ascension vibration and better. So we call forth all these beauteous beings of light, including the great avatar Babaji, including Saint Germain, including Mother Mary, Saint Francis, beautiful Jesus Christ, beautiful Kuan Yin, beautiful Lord Buddha, beautiful Lord Krishna, beautiful Lord Rama, beautiful Mother Divine, the Divine Mother, the Divine Father, all the divine beings, the deities, the angels, the archangels, the avatars. We ask them to lift our vibration now. We call forth beautiful, beautiful, loving Saint Germain to bring forth the beauteous, violet, cleansing, purifying, all-consuming flame, to bring forth this beauteous violet flame which fills and surrounds our physical bodies and all of our subtle bodies, emotional bodies, mental bodies, intellect bodies, causal bodies. All of the bodies are being permeated and pervaded by this beauteous violet light that is lifting us to a higher octave of vibration, to the vibration of ascension. Now we ask that these beautiful beings of light begin to transmute and transform our physical bodies into a light body to help us in this ascension process. And we ask the beautiful avatar Babaji to assist us in lifting us to higher vibrational level, lifting us to the beautiful vibration of ascension and better. So let's take another deep breath. Breathe in and let it go. And let us now imagine that there's a beautiful golden sphere of God above our head, and that golden sphere is filled with divine light. And our physical bodies are now being flooded with that divine light. So let us see that a beautiful, beautiful ray of that golden light is now coming down into the physical body, into the midline of our physical body, a beautiful ray of that golden light. And that's like a pipeline that's opening. That pipeline of beautiful golden God light is now pouring down into the physical body all the way from the top of our heads to the bottom of our feet. And that beautiful, beautiful golden ray of light is starting to pour down into the body, into the head area, into the neck, shoulders, chest, stomach, hips, upper legs, lower legs, right down into the feet. And that beautiful, beautiful ray of golden God light is now beginning to spread from the center, from the very meridian of our body, out from that central area of the body, out, spreading, radiating, vibrating, lifting, lifting, lifting. And it's radiating outward and creating like a complete column of light that's surrounding our entire physical body. This beautiful column of God light is increasing its vibration. It's increasing to a higher and higher and higher and higher octave. And we are being lifted, 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 higher and higher and higher and higher into the vibration of ascension. This physical body is being transmuted and transformed by this golden, golden, beauteous God light. This God light is now starting to vibrate. It's starting to whirl and to swirl. It's starting to rotate and vibrate and radiate and become higher and higher and higher and higher, and greater and greater and greater energy is being poured from this beautiful sun of light that's above our head, that's now funneling down into this beautiful column of light, creating a oneness. We are actually merging now with this golden sphere of light. We are becoming one with this golden sphere of light. And we are lifting our vibration and becoming more quickening of the vibration, meaning the vibration is oscillating at higher and higher and higher frequencies. And we are becoming one with this higher and higher and higher octave of frequency as from within us. This light is vibrating at a higher and higher and higher vibration, and we are reaching the octave of ascension, of pure unity and oneness with spirit, of pure ascended vibration. So this physical body is transforming into a light body now, as this physical body is being consumed by this beautiful golden light that fills and surrounds it, and is raising its vibration higher. We are now spinning at a higher and higher frequency, higher frequency. The body is lifting into this golden light, lifting into the golden light, lifting into the light of God, lifting into the spiritual light, lifting higher into the vibration of ascension and better. And we know now that we are experiencing as much spiritual vibration and ascension as we can possibly comfortably enjoy at this time. Higher and higher into the most comfortable, most profound, most powerful ascension vibration that we can experience at this time. Every one of us on this call and everyone who played back this call is experiencing this right here and right now. And we are lifted into this divine light, into this beautiful ascension vibration. We are merged and one with it right now, and we are filled with this beautiful light. We are filled with the ascension light. We are filled with the radiance of God. And now let us just say the following affirmation out loud. I am the resurrection and the life. I am perfection everywhere now. I am perfection here now. I am the ascension now. I am the ascension now. I am the ascension now. Thank you, God, and so it is. So with gratitude in our hearts, we come forth from this meditation, knowing that we keep with us this higher octave of vibration, that it stays with us throughout this day and throughout every day, and that we develop more and more of this light body, of this light radiance, of this light energy, this higher octave energy within the physical and subtle bodies now. So with gratitude in our hearts, we come forth. And what I'd like you to do is just pretend that you're blowing out some candles. I'll demonstrate just like that. Let's blow out at least 4 or more candles. Blow out the candles now. Blow out those candles and then open your eyes. If you do not feel like opening your eyes, then blow out more candles and then open your eyes. And what I'd like you to do with eyes open, keep your eyes open, is say an affirmation with me. Okay, and if you don't feel like opening your eyes, then blow out more candles now and open your eyes. So just blow out more candles and then open your eyes, please. So with eyes open now, say the following affirmation. I am alert. I am awake. I am inwardly and outwardly balanced. I am in control. I am the only authority in my life. I am divinely protected by the light of my being. Thank you, God, and so it is. So how did that feel, Darius?
You know, it was pretty amazing because I started feeling light come in and just a flood of warmth. I felt a lot more certainty about some things that I'd been worried about, and I felt really almost detached, but yet, well, more unaffected by lower vibration. You know, there were some things I was thinking about today and things that I was concerned about, maybe not worried, but concerned, and I really got a bigger perspective come in. And so I think that was a really key piece of this whole thing, was opening up those portals, opening up those waves to moving to higher energy. I want to hear what people said, what they felt during this, maybe what came in. You know, I think the one thing that Susan came in and just sort of appeared to me was that when we live our path, we help others totally live our path, and it actually can feel incredibly good to be in this higher energy space. It actually is the best feeling you can have. I don't know if I'd ever really put it that way, but it actually feels so good.
It's better than any sex you've ever had, better than any food you could eat, better than any addiction that you've ever had in your life. It's actually the best thing you can do. It's the most fun you can do with your clothes on.
Wow.
Or with your clothes off.
With your clothes off, yeah, exactly.
Either clothes on or off. It's the best experience you can have.
Oh my gosh.
Most fun you can possibly have. And you know, I got to tell you, Darius, that meditation I just did was completely unique. I have never done that meditation before. I just asked Spirit what meditation would be good for this group. So that was completely unique, only for this group, only for this time. So that was that meditation for right now, for this group only.
Yeah, well, we just had a bunch of people writing in. Cheryl said, "Thank you. My sight is clear and brighter." I think a lot of people, when they open their eyes, it's like the haze or the fog is gone and they see clearly. Elisa just wrote in and said, "Wow, wow, wow." People are processing kind of where they're at. I don't want to disturb them, but just share with us kind of what you felt, maybe what new revelations came in, what new energies you picked up from this. I want to talk about this, Susan. I know we talked about just maybe a tidbit of really how do we differentiate and protect ourselves from lower vibrational entities and things that may be faker spirits that could keep us from ascension or keep us plugged into almost, I think, like vibrations that are not leading us into the higher place, but vibrations that might pull us into a lower frequency. I think a lot of people can plug into those fields of energy mistakenly.
Exactly. It's so important that we learn discernment and then we learn how to heal. And when I say learn how to heal, you notice that when I did the meditation, I called in the divine beings of light. I didn't just leave it to chance. I actually even called on some names of divine beings. I asked that only those who come in the name of God come forth. There's certain languaging that I used when I did the meditation. And in addition to that, there was some affirmations that were done. And there are certain affirmations that can help people to stay on a higher vibrational level, or if they're in a lower vibrational level, to get them to the higher vibrational level. Such affirmations as what I call self-authority affirmation, prayer protection, which everybody did, and I don't know if everyone said it out loud, but I said it. And so you were a part of that, because I did say that affirmation. And other affirmations and prayers, all of my books, including the book that's in this offer, the audio book that's in this offer, all of my books have affirmations and prayers in them. Actually, I correct myself. It's not the book that's in the offer. It's the 3-day class that's in the offer, which helps people with these affirmations, specific affirmations to help you close off your aura, to lower vibrational energies and help you to stay in a higher vibrational place. So it's really important that people learn some specific, easy to learn, easy to say prayers that will help them to maintain their integrity and their higher vibration. It's really not rocket science. It's very simple to do.
If someone was connecting to lower vibration that really wasn't theirs, I mean, what would be some, I guess, warning signs or things that someone might realize as some signs that maybe they're connecting to energy that really isn't theirs?
Right. So some of the signs would be feeling bad, having pains that aren't physical pains, having pains where you go to the doctor and there's no physical reason for that pain, what they call psychosomatic pain, feeling crummy, feeling having panic attacks, having bad dreams, nightmares. Let's see what else. Feeling tugged, feeling that you're being tugged or that you're being overshadowed by other people or by circumstances. Feeling just overwhelmed, feeling that something or someone is influencing you from an invisible force or something that's preying upon you. Kind of feeling that people are being vampires or that there are other energies that are being vampires around you. All of these, and especially feeling drained. That would be a major one. Feeling that just your daily life is a drain rather than getting energy from life. You're feeling drained. You're feeling exhausted. By the end of the day, feeling like you can't even do anything, like you're numb and all you can do is turn on the boob tube and watch because you've got no other energy for anything else. These are sure signs that something is amiss and that you're energetically on a lower vibrational level, and that you need to do some prayers to get yourself out of that, or some meditation, prayers and meditation to help you.
I agree. I want to read this real quick, and I want to talk about getting some help for those that need it. Joan wrote in, and she said, I've worked on my transformation for the last year, but within that time I've had 2 accidents, one falling with a ladder sliding away under me, a couple of strange falls, like being thrown out of balance, hitting the ground. Last Friday, I had a car accident where my car skidded out of control. It feels as if something is out of balance. Something is out to destroy me, cornering me as well financially, leaving me with no other options. Can you help? Is that kind of something where she could be out of balance from her true source and just things are just coming up that are trying to move her into that balance maybe as signs, or are they trying to actually literally harm her? What would be your take on that?
Okay, nothing's harming. Nothing is out to get her. That's number one.
Okay.
And there could be some situations where there is something out to get somebody, but it's not true in this case. So I think that the reason why bad things happen to us is something that is unfathomable. We will never be able to figure it out. However, it has to do with the law of karma or the law of cause and effect. And we have drawn that into our life, not consciously, but unconsciously for unknown reasons. Okay?
Okay.
One reason might be to punish ourselves unconsciously. Another reason might be that to teach ourselves something. Another reason might be that something from the past is coming around, something that happened in the past, in either this life or another past life, something that is repeating itself, so to speak, or like a boomerang kind of effect, so to speak. But all of these are unfathomable. So I wouldn't try to go back and trace the source of these necessarily. What I would do is raise the vibration to a higher level.
Yes.
And so whenever we raise our vibration to a higher level, then these things don't affect us so much. Even if bad things happen, quote unquote bad things happen to us, we can spring back, we can bounce back, and we're not as affected when we are connected to spirit, when we are connected to our true nature, when we are connected to the divine beings of light that we've been talking about, the Ascended Masters. They can guide us, they can help us, they can show us the way, they can show us the path, and we can have greater inner strength and inner stability when we are in touch with who we truly are, which is our divine nature. So I wouldn't blame these things on anything because, first of all, it's kind of useless to do that. And second of all, it's really not true. There isn't anything or anyone to blame, and there's no force out to get this person. So I would say use the healing prayers, use affirmations and healing prayers, and use meditation, and strengthen yourself. Really the only thing we can do in life is strengthen ourselves, become more of who we really are, and then things around us won't affect us. We will just not be affected. If you read the Bhagavad Gita, it tells you what an enlightened person is. It's someone who is not affected by pleasure, pain, hot, cold, this, that, yin, yang. That is a person who is enlightened. An enlightened individual is someone who is not affected by things that happen.
Yeah. Fantastic, and I love that because it really shows us we have the power, we have the possibility. It is in our hands, provided we know how and we have the right tools and we are ready. And we had a lot of people writing in. Let's see. Barb said, energy moving around my head, lovely kaleidoscope energy in flower-like wonderfulness, warmth, happiness, and love moved through me like bathing me in a violet light and in golden light. My husband even felt warmth, cleanliness from the inside. Ellen said, thank you, Susan. I came on with this terrible pain in my right lower leg, and it worried me that something adverse might affect my whole life, and I had no idea what I was going to do. I feel wonderful and confident now that Spirit will handle the situation. My body feels so light. Michelle said, yes, everything Susan is saying is happening at this moment. Let's see. One person, Sonia, said, I feel energy going through my heart. I feel more whole. Kate said, really, really excellent questions, Darius. Thank you, Kate. I'm intuiting this from you guys and where you're at. So, I want to definitely help you. Another person, Nabilia, said, I really felt this energy in my body, truly empowering. I felt things release. Shell said, I felt immense energy waves in my chest. I could hardly open my eyes. Rolanda said, my lips went numb. Trent said, when Susan started the meditation, I felt power coming in here. Another person, Teresa, said, really awesome light and awareness I felt outside of myself. So, incredible stuff. I want to talk about, Susan, how people can go deeper if they need help or they want to really get this in their life, connect to those masters. I know you've put together something specifically for the Ascension and where we are now. Tell me about what you have and why it's different and how people can use it.
Yes, that is, I am so pleased to hear about this experience that people are having, and you can have a lot more because everything that's in this package that we're offering today has guided meditations in it. So, and they're all different. They're different ones. Some of them are for transforming the body into a light body. Some of them are for connecting with the divine beings and ascended masters. Some of them are for actually disassembling the elements of the body, which is very interesting. I didn't do that meditation today, but it is in the offer. And by the way, it's nowhere else. It's not being offered anywhere else but in this offer. There's a very special meditation where the elements of nature, earth, air, fire, water, ether, where the body transforms from these elements into finer and finer material and then becomes a light body and attains what the Tibetan Buddhists call the rainbow body. This is a very special meditation that Babaji gave me directly, and I'm passing that on to only this group with only this offer today. So that's an amazing, amazing experience that that was recorded, but it's not, you won't find it anywhere else. So what we have in this offer, we have the book Ascension. It's a 286-page audio book. It's a full, unabridged audio book, all the audio files for the book Ascension. In this book, you're going to learn all about Ascension and the Ascended Masters and beings of light. You're going to read amazing, fantastic stories about these beings and see pictures of them and learn what it means to experience Ascension and to walk beyond death. And to learn about visitations, we forgot to talk about visitations, how people can have visitations from Ascended Masters. And there'll be stories about visitations from Ascended Masters in the book. So this is a very powerful book, and people love it. I mean, it's been translated into a lot of different languages already. And you're getting the audio book here. Right here in this offer, and in this offer only. It is not being offered anywhere else. This audio book is hot off the press. It was just finished a week ago and just uploaded right now. Then the next cool thing you have is the paintings of the Ascended Masters and Beings of Light. There's 34 high-resolution JPEG files. And these beautiful, beautiful paintings are paintings that I personally did. They're visions that I had of the Ascended Masters and Beings of Light.
Wow.
And they're really, really awesome. And I think that you'll really enjoy these beautiful, beautiful paintings, which you can print out and do whatever you want with, other than sell them. You're not allowed to sell them.
Right.
But if you want to print them out for your own purposes, maybe make a giclée of one of them or print them out and laminate them, put them on your altar. They're really awesome. There's 34 different JPEGs, and it's really cool. Then
can I ask you a question about the paintings? I mean, can people do these paintings, are they things that people could use sort of in their day-to-day life in their home to raise the energy? Would they have some effect of doing that in their environment?
Oh, totally. If you put these paintings up around your around any room in your house, maybe even in a meditation room or anywhere in your house, it will raise the vibration because these are vibrational paintings. They have a vibration that is carried with them, and they have the vibration of those divine beings. So you will be able to lift the vibration of your environment with these pictures.
Wow.
So the next item in this is we have a 90-minute teleseminar, Avatars and Ascended Masters Are Real, where you're going to learn a lot about the Ascended Masters and immortal beings of light, about visitations, about people living today who might be Ascended Masters, how the Ascended Masters have disappeared in a flash of light, how the Ascended Masters have guided our nation, great saints of India who live in eternal youth, incorruptible corpses, real-life stories of immortal Buddhist, Hindu, Christian, Jewish, and Taoist masters, encounters with people who've lived hundreds of thousands of years, and how to directly contact and communicate with Ascended Masters. So that's that one, item 3. And then item 4 is Ascension, meeting the Masters of Immortality, plus a meditation to experience the Ascended Light Body. And that'll be a different meditation than what you've got today. So this one is you're going to, it's actually a PowerPoint presentation, so you'll be able to see and learn about the stories about the Masters of Immortality, and you'll also get a fantastic guided meditation. In the next item, item 5, is another video, and this one is an audio, where you're going to have a very special body transmutation meditation that I talked about a minute ago, where you are going to transform the physical body into light by going through the elements of nature. So that is included in this audio presentation. And then the next item, number 6, is a very unusual PowerPoint presentation and seminar, video seminar. In this one, it's called Kumbh Mela, Nectar of Immortal Life. This is really something very special and very unusual. It's about a festival, which is the Immortal Life Festival that happens in India every 12 years. It's called the Kumbh Mela, and there are 100 million people that attended in 2001. And it's 100 million, not 100,000. 100 million people attended in 2001 this festival, which happens only once every 12 years. Okay, this festival is built around the immortal, what they call the soma or nectar, the immortal substance of life. And during the festival, the Ganges River or the special rivers of India are transformed into nectar and immortal nectar. And this presentation will tell you about specific longevity of great masters of India and immortal masters, and this is really amazing, and it's visual as well as it's a video, so it's totally awesome. You just have to experience it to believe it. Then this goes on and on.
Susan?
Yes.
Susan, on that, and I may ask you about a few of these. There's so much here. I kind of want to make sure I cover everything. You actually, I mean, people can feel the harmony and love from that whole event. Sort of like they feel that coming through what you have here. And then you also mentioned getting blessings, and we've had people give blessings on this event, but this is something included in just this one piece, these spiritual blessings from the saints of India. Tell me about that.
That's right. At this event, there are actual enlightened masters who come to this event, and there's thousands of them.
Oh my gosh.
You could spend your whole lifetime trying to find these people in India, but whereas you can find them at this festival, they're all there. Okay,
wow.
So when you watch this PowerPoint presentation, when you watch this video, you're going to receive what they call the darshan, which darshan literally means sight. And what it is grace and blessings that flow from these enlightened beings to you. And I promise you that when you watch this, you're going to receive these blessings. You're going to receive the waves of grace or waves of energy that come from these enlightened beings. And just from hearing about them and seeing their pictures and hearing the stories about them in this PowerPoint presentation, this is something very, very unique. I have not offered this anywhere else. By the way, nearly every one of the files that's in this offer today is something that I created last week.
For us, wow.
I created the file last week, and this is one of those. This was created last week. Now, it wasn't recorded last week, but it was created. This file was created last week. And it's the only place this is being offered is what I'm trying to say.
Right. Susan, I'm going to tell people really quick where it is because we've kind of gone a while, and people are asking. It's actually at uwealthrevolution.com/connect, CONNECT. So you have to go to uwealthrevolution.com/connect, CONNECT, because really the whole thrust of this is connecting to your divine master. And what's incredible about this that I love, Susan, is this isn't just one meditation. This is so many different ways, from the direct masters in India and through this amazing ceremonial process that happened, and through these renderings and these divine downloads that you can bring into your life, through the Ascension book, which connects people to their higher selves and higher awareness and allows you to understand what it is, how it works, how it's experienced. You're bringing all of this energy in. I don't think anyone's ever put together so many different ways this energy is coming into your life that people can't help but really make that a part of their existence. And the other thing that you've done that is one of my favorites that talks a lot about getting rid of those bad energies and disconnecting is the Divine Revelation book as well, which you cover and include here.
Exactly. The item 7 is Divine Revelation, the most vital skill you need for the upcoming planetary changes. We talked about that earlier. And this is a 3-day live class, recorded live, It is 10.5 hours of audio files. It's an entire 3-day class where you will learn how to listen to the still small voice within, and you'll learn how to distinguish and discern between that true voice of spirit and other voices in your mind. You'll learn the healing prayers that we talked about. You'll learn the 10 tests of spiritual discernment that we talked about. You'll learn how to receive divine messages from spirit at will, how to receive answers to your questions, how to use inner names and signals, how to speak through your messages from spirit, how to break through the resistances. We talked about breaking through resistances and ego barriers, how to do that. And you're going to become your own guru, discover your life purpose, awaken your inner genius, and enjoy little miracles in everyday life through that amazing, amazing audio class. It's an entire 3-day class. But that's not all. We have 2 other items. We have 2 guided breakthrough. We have a guided breakthrough meditation, which is a 70-minute meditation where you're going to break through. We talked about the breakthrough, breaking through that false belief of being separate from the true self. You're going to break through and experience that in a very profound and very deep meditation. So if you liked that little tiny meditation we did earlier, you're going to love this. And then the last, that's not the last item. The next item is a 30-minute meditation for daily use that will help you to have this connection with spirit, with your higher self, with the ascended beings of light. 30-minute meditation. And then last but not least, I thought I'd bring some other people in. There was a panel that was recorded live a couple weeks ago. It was called the Ascension panel. Yes. It was recorded live at the Los Angeles Alchemy event, so I thought I'd stick that one in because that would be fun just to hear about Ascension from some other people, too. So that was another thing that we put into the mix here. So you're getting so much. I have never had a package with so much in it before, ever. Ever, ever, ever.
It is astounding, and it's really, really exciting. It's at uwealthrevolution.com/connect, CONNECT, and you have, even in here, I know the guided breakthrough meditation where people are going to actually receive clear and direct inner contact, and they can use that daily to heal ego blockages, experience the supernatural divine light, and much, much more. And then you have the daily use version. You have all of the Ascension panel, and I am very excited about this. Susan, really quick, I want to see if we have any questions here coming in. Michelle said, I can feel the energy flowing from it already from the PowerPoint presentation. So I don't know, some people are plugging into what that was, but they're feeling the energy just as we mentioned it come in.
Right.
So that is pretty cool,
the
Michelle.
Kumbh Mela, even talking about Kumbh Mela, it'll give you the waves of energy, the waves of bliss. Exactly.
Why? Wow. This is very cool. It's at uwealthrevolution.com/connect. All of those pieces are included. And the thing about Susan that I am so always impressed with is you bring stuff to us at such a affordable price. It's $97. It's a total retail of $2,350. It's 96% off, which I think is the most we've ever had anything discounted, and it's for 30 days. So if for any reason you're not happy with this, or you just for whatever reason decide that it's not for you, I say try it, transform, or let us know, and it's free. We refund you, but we don't get very many with Susan because there's so much here, and there's so much stuff you can use every day in your life. Susan, really quick, who is this for? I mean, for people that, maybe they've been on the series that, well, everybody has so many cool things that they always offer. How do I know this is really for me, or how do I know this is something I even want to go deeper with?
If you are a person who seeks to find your true purpose and to manifest that in your life, if you are a person who wants to improve their life, if you're a person who wants to connect spiritually, if you're a person who is interested in meditation, if you're a person who's interested in Eastern wisdom, if you're a person who has been having difficulties and wants to get out of those difficulties, then this package is for you.
Wow. Wow. What are some of your favorite stories of people who've, used a lot of your work and practices to really shift and change their life?
Okay, so, I've been doing this for so long, and there's so many people whose lives have been absolutely transformed. Some of them have been transformed just from reading my books, literally. But those who've actually taken these types of classes that I'm offering here, which are live classes, their lives have just never been the same. I mean, they were unhappy, and now they're happy. They were in dire circumstances, and no longer are they. I've had, for example, one woman who was literally being psychically and attacked by people who were performing black magic on her continually, and her life was in complete chaos, complete ruin. The stories that she told me were just unbelievable, the horrible things that were going on in her life because of these black magic attacks upon her, and because of the negative energies and entities that were causing her life to be in complete ruin. She has totally turned her life around. Her life is now really on a very positive course, a positive action, and she's living. She's so happy, and she's not bothered by these energies anymore. It's just. This is just one example, and there's so many people who were psychic sponges. It was that all the vibrations around them, they were absorbing all the vibrations around them, and they were living in pain because of that. And now they're happy, and they don't have that kind of pain, and they're not absorbing the vibrations around them. They are strong. They have inner strength. Wow. There are people who were purposeless. They didn't know what direction to take in their life. And now they've found a direction, and they're now leading lives that are attuned with their true purpose, with their true destiny. They're finding that they were a healer, and they didn't have the courage or strength to do their healing work, and now they're doing it, and they're very happy. I mean, this is just, there's so many stories, and I have like hundreds of testimonials, and a few of them are right on this page, by the way. If you go down to the bottom of the page, of that connect page, uwealthrevolution.com/connect, you'll see like a ton of testimonials right here.
Wow. Yeah, well, there it is. I am very, very glad to have you. I'm very excited about the work that we did and the energy that we released, and allow people to really connect to something higher and bigger. And if this energy feels right to you, this is what we do here. We love to bring our guests from all over the world to help share and connect you. And I can tell you that when you connect to the higher energy that's been trying to reach you, that's been guiding you and trying to reach you more and more, your life will change. And most of the challenges we have are from lower energy. We even know that, and not saying that this would cure disease, but we know disease is like a low energy, right? I mean, everything that is not pure to our true essence is some lower vibrational discord or a lack of resonance or some vibrational disruption pattern in our lives. And so it's not just inanimate energy. They're masters, they're guides, they're teachers, they're healers that want to reach out to us from the higher realms, and we can learn to reach and access that, and in doing so, change our life. And I'll even go a step further. In doing so, change the lives of millions of people by being able to channel that, connect to that, bring that wisdom to other people. That's what a lot of our teachers do. And so this is, I consider Susan the foremost expert in this. So if you want to really get this, and you feel maybe like you need help, like maybe you've done all the clearing and you've relied on yourself and you've been trying to make your life better, doing everything, and you feel like, sometimes I'm just not strong enough. I really wish I could call on something greater or bigger or higher vibrational or more intuitive than me. and just ask for help and know that I know that I'm getting the right help come in, the right energy. This is for you. Does that make sense, Susan, what I just said?
Makes total sense. Totally makes sense. Absolutely makes sense.
Because so many people need help, and it's like a lot of the programs that people teach, it's like, okay, well, we're going to show you how to do this, and then you can take care of this. And a lot of people, they want something beyond just themselves dealing with the day-to-day challenges and connecting to, a bigger benevolent source that can move them in the direction. Yeah.
That is so important because we're not alone.
Yeah.
You're not alone. You have divine beings of light. You have your inner guidance. You have God to help you and to guide you. You're not alone. And even though you are 100% responsible for everything that happens in your life, you can get some good advice on what path to take, on what direction to go in, on what choices to make. And if you are in contact with the divine presence, your inner divinity, your higher self, the divine beings of light, they're really all synonymous. You can call it whatever you want to call it. It is the still small voice of God within. That's what it is. And when you're in contact with that, you make decisions with peaceful confidence because you know that you're making the right choice. So now you have confidence. Maybe you didn't have confidence before. Or maybe you had false confidence. But now you have real confidence because now you know you're on the right path, doing the right thing, you're in the right place at the right time, and you're making the right choices. Now, I just give a caution that, don't have now fantastic, ridiculous expectations about results because just because you're guided to do something doesn't mean that it's going to turn out exactly the way you want it. But I promise you one thing, if you do follow your guidance, you will have a better life overall. Your life is going to improve, and you're going to be happier in the long run, and everything is going to be much smoother, and you're just going to live a more miraculous life, a much happier, more fulfilled life, basically. You're going to be more satisfied and fulfilled. And doesn't everybody want that?
Yes. Well, incredible, Susan. Thank you so much for being here and living your destiny, following your highest path, giving to all of us the wisdom and the discernment and the ability to connect like you have, and just being such a great teacher. You're one of the best, and I got to tell everybody here, it's a real treat to have Susan on and to be able to reach your highest place with her work. She is one of the best out there, and I say that. She's been doing this, and she has a stellar reputation, and she's always given the most to our listeners and to us. So it's just great to have you, Susan. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much, Darius. And it is always such a great pleasure to be on this show. You are really amazing, and I just love chatting with you. It's just so fun. I always have a great time when I come on your teleseminar series. It's just great.
Oh, thank you. Well, good luck on the cruise and be safe, and we look forward to hearing the results in 2013 and finding out more about what happens and what you download from that moment as well.
Absolutely, and I'm hoping and praying that we can do a cruise together, and maybe some of your listeners would like that, have a cruise with some of your main people, and that would be so much fun. We could sail the ocean and also get spiritually enlightened. How about that idea?
Oh my gosh, that sounds incredible. Oh my gosh. Well, we're going to hold that.
If you get any feedback from that on your little chat thing there, maybe some people would like to come on such a cruise and we could do it.
Absolutely, everyone let us know, because that could be something definitely for 2013. I love it.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I am totally into the idea. Let's do it.
All right. Well, there we go. Manifestation at its
now,
finest.
right?
Yeah.
Twins now? Okay. Well,
what is that?
Okay, the twins will just have to come on the cruise, I guess.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we do.
Okay.
That's right. Fantastic. Well, there you go, guys. Manifestation happening at its best. Susan, thank you so much. Any final words for the people here?
Okay, my final parting wisdom is as follows. Let go and let God. Allow God to be your guide. You are not alone. You're never alone. God is always with you. giving you wisdom, inspiration, healing. All you have to do is ask. You must ask, though. These blessings don't come unbidden. You must ask on some level or other, either consciously or unconsciously, you must ask. So I would say that now is the time to ask, now is the time to receive, now is the time to step up and take your sword of destiny, take your sword of power, and walk into the light. Walk that true path, that true purpose, the straight path, the path that leads you to your highest good. Follow that path, live a happy life, be joyous, celebrate life, and allow yourself to unite and become one with that divine presence that awaits you, the healing presence, the loving presence, the presence that will give you all the blessings, all the treasures that you seek.
I love it. I love it. No finer words have been spoken. That is the truth. Thank you so much, Susan, for being here, and happy December 21st, 2012. It's coming.
You too.